Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever movie review edition of Truck Talk, in which Ally started the car, so you can understand that we are in the car.
Trying to turn the radio down as we're going.
Yeah.
It's hot in here.
And this is also probably the most important movie that we've done in a while.
It's the only one that we've done on here, but it is the most important movie we've seen since Endgame, because we didn't see Homecoming, I don't think.
Yeah.
Did you see Homecoming?
Yeah, we saw Homecoming together.
Did we?
What are you talking about? Yes, we absolutely did.
Oh, okay, then I just...
Remember when we found out that the Vulture was the girl he was going with's dad? And the entire theater went...
Oh, that was Homecoming. Okay.
Yes, that was Homecoming.
Okay, then I remember. Fuck that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
well. Okay.
So,
Just gonna go.
we are reviewing Far From Home because we literally just walked out of the movie
Are we even reviewing it? Because, like,
No,
I'm
we're
fucking mad.
not reviewing exactly, but, like, talking about it. Talking about the big stuff. So, like,
Wait, okay.
before we get to spoilers,
So I'm gonna say,
I just
like,
want your
please-
opinion.
Please disclaimer.
Yeah.
This does have spoilers in it. I am fucking mad about it. So we're gonna talk about everything that happened. And if you haven't seen it yet, please go see it. It's well worth it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the road is.
I enjoyed this as much as I think I have any Marvel movie. And that's saying a lot.
Yes,
Like,
I think it was very, very, very well done.
I
don't remember which way I'm turning here.
I don't remember, but this will be ever remembered on the podcast. So we're actually driving in the car. We're not going to stop and do the usual in the car reviews.
Wait. I think we go this way.
No.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
I'm almost positive.
You are 100% wrong.
Am I really?
Yes.
Well, you
The
couldn't
interstate's that way. I told you the interstate's that way.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I said
no.
you were wrong.
Rewind. Well, then, fuck.
There's nobody over there. Just turn. All right.
Watch there be a cop and I get pulled over. Pulled over on the podcast.
Yeah.
See, why couldn't you fucking tell me that was right there?
I told you to turn right.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes.
No, it's gonna show on the video that you didn't tell me.
You asked me if you were going the right way. I said no. You went.
You
the
didn't
wrong-
tell me anything though.
Yes, I did say.
Oh, I'm so.
If there are two options and the wrong one is the one that you chose, then you have to choose the other one.
I'm so angry.
I know.
I'm
Well,
so angry at you right now.
You're mad about the Spider-Man anyways.
I'm angry about a lot of things.
Yeah.
You being my number one right now.
Well, I apologize, but
No, you don't.
Continuing. So you enjoyed the movie?
I did. I thought it was great. It sucked me in because at first, like, so without doing any spoilers, like the first half of the movie where you think everything is just done.
Yeah.
You know, because I thought it was done. I was like, okay,
No,
rolling credits, like we're done.
There's definitely a beat right in the middle where you're like, all right, the story is wrapped up. Let's do this.
Right, yeah, and then you're like, I mean, it's mediocre at best. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't like that. If that was where it ended,
Yeah.
I would have been mad.
Well, and it would have only been an hour at that point.
Right, but
So-
I don't have any concept of time. I thought number one, I thought it was really short and really rushed, so I was just like, this is fucking stupid.
No, I'm with you. It would have made no sense.
Yeah,
But no.
but it didn't. It didn't stop it.
Yeah.
Which made the movie.
Yeah, I think the second half.
It tripped me up.
Once the second half gets going, it's a fucking journey.
Yeah, it's like Endgame final scene. Like it's boom, 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 boom. It's like you can't even take your eyes off the screen for a second, or you're gonna miss something.
Something that I love about the trailers that they do for these Marvel movies. 90% of the time, they won't show you anything from the second half of the movie. I don't feel like they showed you anything after the first 15 minutes of this movie.
Oh no, 110%. I have not watched any of the trailers though.
Right.
So I don't know. I came into this saying like, oh, Far From Home, maybe they're in space?
Yeah.
Question? Like, I had no idea. I thought we were like kind of, I don't know where I thought we were picking up, but like, that's where I thought we were picking up.
Have you ever heard of Mysterio?
No.
Okay.
Other than Rey Mysterio,
I'm just wondering because.
No, I am not.
People,
he reminds me. You know who he reminds me of? Have you ever seen Hellboy?
Yes.
Have you seen? I think it's the second one where it's the guy and he's just literally just sentient gas.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's who he reminds me of. As soon as I saw him, I was like, fuck, that he's that dude. He's that doctor that's sentient gas in Hellboy.
Yeah.
So that's
Mysterio,
that's what I remember.
Mysterio in the comic books is notorious for being a villain.
Oh.
So when everybody saw him in the trailer, they're like, okay, how is this gonna turn?
Yeah.
What's the coin flip here? And
do spoilers start now?
And, well, I was getting ready to say, spoilers are going into effect here.
Okay,
so
yeah. So if we're probably going to talk about something other than this later.
Yeah, there's a pretty good chance that this might end up being like, if I edit the podcast a little bit, this might be the second half of the podcast because I don't want to.
You don't want to go into.
No, I don't want to be like, hey, first 10 minutes, let's get into a fucking spoilers. You know what I mean?
Well, and the movie's been out for like what, like a whole week?
It's been out for 2 weeks now.
So I mean, like die-hard fans probably have already seen it.
Yeah, there's
also,
a fairly
who do
good
we
chance.
think that who do we think is going to listen to this other than our friends?
The last podcast had 9 viewers, and I think 4 of them were me. So
me too. It's okay. It's all good. Honestly, not even mad.
Yeah.
But
okay, so full spoilers. You saw Mysterio being a villain.
Oh yeah, I called it 100%. As soon as I saw him, first of all, I was like, that's kind of weird because it showed the things under the water.
Right.
And I was looking at it, and like, of course, MJ's taking a picture of the crabs, and I'm like, oh shit.
Shit's about to happen.
You know, when the crabs are fucking leaving, that means something's gotta go because crabs are like.
Right.
Anyway, not to get all sciencey. I'm going 70. But like I was like, that's a little weird. So I think that was a hint. You know, because like I was like, if it's a being made of water doesn't behave like that unless there's something in it. Because I thought that there was something underneath that was gonna come up, and then it ended up being a water thing, and I was really confused. And I was like, what the fuck? But then I saw the guy come out, and I was like, okay, he seems legit. But then I was just kind of like, why is it that he's the only one who can damage it? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing.
Why is Peter shooting webs? And
Peter can't do anything, you know, and it wasn't catching on to anything. And I'm like, your first thought is like, well, it's fucking water.
I was gonna say that made enough sense to me in that he can't do anything against water because it's just water.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like his webs can't stick to anything in water.
Yeah, and they had me. They had me after that. I was like, okay, you know what? Like, I know this is a I should get over. I know this is a Marvel movie, and like, maybe things slip through the cracks.
Right.
That's not like Marvel, but like, maybe something slipped through the cracks. I'm gonna let it go. And then he had this. I called him out as soon as he said his fucking sob story. I was just like, okay, yeah, no. See, and the extra touch with touching his wedding ring, I was like, get out.
See, now, here's the thing that I think was the most interesting about him specifically, is especially in the first part of the movie, and something I think they did really, really well. They hit all the comic book beats that fans like me were expecting. Like, when he's like, yeah, there's a multiverse, and then Peter got so fucking excited. And then he was like, we're in Earth 616. That's the name of the comic book Earth that the Marvel canon comic books take place in. So they're in Earth 616, and there's a multiverse around that. And you're just like hitting all the comic book beats. Mm-hmm. They're doing the Elementals backstory. You're like, all right, you know what?
But I felt like it was just really rushed. Like there wasn't any like flashbacks to like him and on his world like there usually is. You know, like Captain Marvel, they did that for her. They had so many flashbacks during the whole movie, and then that made it legit. But like, it literally was like, okay, sob story. It literally felt scripted, which come to find out it is.
Yeah.
But like,
well, I think that was the great part about it was they like whenever they started explaining the elementals, you're just like, all right, you know what? This seems like a filler villain.
So I'm gonna say it doesn't feel like this is the whole shebang. You know, like the very first half of it, you're just kind of like, this is it.
Right.
We waited all this hype. This is what's coming up after Endgame. This is all this hype for this fucking movie, and this is it. Are you kidding? You know.
When they get to Prague and you're with, I feel like you're with Peter the whole time. I'm being scared
Oh, 100%.
That's one of the things I love about Tom Holland's Spider-Man is that you feel the fear of him being a kid.
I feel the fear of... Oh my gosh, he's not gonna... Okay, whatever. I feel the fear of, like, any Spider-Man ever.
Right.
You know, that's my kind of thing, is, like, when Spider-Man can make me feel... Because it's, like... That's why I love and I feel for Spider-Man so much. Is because he's a kid. He's a normal kid, just like I was when I started watching these movies. Like, I'm very sentimental here, but, like...
Yeah.
He's a normal kid. Well, and he just kind of got thrown into this shit. He just lost his mentor.
Yeah.
And, like, when... Okay, so Mysterio does the thing, like, with the illusions and stuff like that, and he makes it really real. And, like, it freaked me out.
Yeah.
Not to mention, if you put yourself in Peter's shoes, like, actually the fictional person of Peter...
Right.
I would not be able to come back from that shit. Even though you know it's fake, you literally saw your mentor die.
Yeah.
And be reborn and see his dead skull. From a guy that you has betrayed you and who you trusted and looked up to as your possible next mentor.
So what you're talking about is a specific thing in the movie in which, honestly, it felt to me like I would put that sequence up against anything else in the Marvel MCU as one of the most, A, comic book accurate, and B, scary, terrifying, interesting.
It was terrifying.
Like, just interesting fights.
Not in a horror sense,
no.
But in, like, you're confused, you're discombobulated. And that's exactly what they wanted you to feel, because that's what Peter felt.
Well,
but, like, it's just so fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, like, imagine, like, being locked in your own mind palace. Like, that's what it would be. That's like if Doctor Strange got locked in a mind. No, that's Sherlock. I'm mixing my two things. Never mind. But, like, same actor. Same actor, different universes. But, like...
But, so what happens is Mysterio creates an illusion of
backstory.
Yeah, I was trying to explain it. He creates an illusion around
No, you have
Peter.
to tell them who Mysterio is and the reason why he hates Tony.
Okay, so...
Brief overview.
Yeah, to recap a little bit and give some details for those who, like, just trying to specify what you've seen, because if you're here for spoilers, you probably should have already seen this. But whenever he's going through his backstory and he's a jilted ex-inventor for Stark, who created... I thought it was perfect the way they did some of the flashback and integration stuff.
Yes.
It's just like, so you see him, he was the one who made the Tony Stark hologram in Civil War.
Yes.
At the beginning of Civil War, when you see Tony and his parents, he was the one who invented that technology. And then Tony rebranded it, took it, and fired him.
Yeah.
And named it something funny so he can get a laugh at Harvard.
Yeah.
Which I think is just perfectly Tony Stark.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And then you see the guy that Obadiah Stane yelled at in the first movie, which I was like, I know what that's from! I was so excited.
See, you can't see the lines here almost at all.
Yeah, nobody's going to be able to know that on the podcast.
I know, but just for you personally, when we were driving this the other day, now you know.
I know. Okay. So, forgetting Louisville roads aside.
Shut up.
And then they're just going around and like, Becky, you're the one who created the costume. And it's like, all this shit where like, because Tony had to make such inventive shit around him, he created he created these divisions and hired all these smart people. But then you see the blowback of that if you're a dick to people who are super smart and intelligent. They created the plan to take Tony Stark's weapons after Tony Stark died and become the new Iron Man and lead the world essentially in their vision.
Shambles, yeah.
And it was such a brilliant plan. And it's something that I love about these movies is that whenever there's a big twist, they do it so well and explain the logic behind it that it's awesome.
But in a way that doesn't feel like, backstory, this is why they all hate Tony.
Yeah, or plot holes. Like,
yeah, it's not like that. It's literally like they're getting together and they're like, all right, people, we did it, you know? And like, Jake Gyllenhaal, who plays, I don't know what his actual name is other than Quentin Beck. whoever the guy is.
They never said his actual name.
Okay, well then the guy who is Mysterio, who like
right.
is the thing of all things, you know, Quentin Beck.
Yeah.
He has taken on this leadership figure that is the next Tony kind of thing. Like it's like the anti-Tony. So whereas Tony would barely give anybody else but himself credit,
I would say it's the Captain America version of Tony.
That's a stretch.
Well, but I mean in so much as, like, they're talking about him being an ex-soldier, and he led everybody, and he's got a family that he loves. He's taking the Steve Rogers personality and putting it on a Tony Stark outfit and look and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And you're like, okay, because whenever halfway through the movie, when you're like, okay, this is over. When Peter gives him the glasses, I'm sitting there thinking, before the drop happens, I'm like, did they really just cast Jake Gyllenhaal to be the next Iron Man? Who was, and this is starting from a fucking Spider-Man villain?
Right,
Mysterio, who is literally, in the comic books, his superpower is that he doesn't have a superpower. That illusion stuff that he was doing, that's him in the comic books. He was this former special effects artist. So he creates all these special illusions in order to get around, like, robbing banks and shit.
That's really smart. I think he might be my new favorite villain.
Oh, he's awesome. And
he's amazing.
This is
and
why
he's being played by Jake Gyllenhaal, which makes him even more amazing because he's hot. But like,
and Mysterio was such an interesting villain in the comic books because of these things.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a regular dude, but he's got like this special interest and know-how and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. He's almost like a Batman sort of thing, but cooler.
Kind of.
Without all the like help.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was like, all right, you know what? If there was ever a villain that you had to flip and make him A, legitimate, and B, interesting, and like have him be a hero, I was like, okay, Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio, I would have casted him as something that would have been an actual hero to get behind.
Yeah, well, because it's Jake Gyllenhaal. Like,
right.
I mean, like, he's literally poster good boy.
Right, but like, have him take off the fishbowl, and I'm all down for him being a hero. And then not even 30 seconds later, after Peter gives him the glasses, things start fading out, and I'm like, you motherfucker.
Starting to say, and literally the whole time I was like, I don't feel good about this. I don't feel good about this. This is not what Tony meant. This is not what Tony meant. Like, I was just like, this is fucked up. Like, no, this is not it.
The worst part to me was, they're playing happy music this whole time.
Yeah!
There wasn't ominous, like, scores or anything.
They didn't give you any hints whatsoever.
No, it was, this is a good thing, this guy's here to stay, the multiverse is real.
They even made, like, Jake Gyllenhaal kind of look like Tony Stark.
Yeah, it was...
put everything together and it, like, made sense. And I was just like, you know what? Because as soon as he put on the glasses, I was like, oh my god.
You're like, beard, swooping hair.
Yeah.
Like, he looked...
The big old bulky suit on him. Like, and I was just like... And he's always, like, never apologized for being the smartest person in the room. And I was like, wow, that sounds like if Tony was nice.
Yeah, it really did seem like somebody had just come in and was like, yeah, we're going to get Jake Gyllenhaal to play Mysterio, but he's going to be the next Tony Stark and you're going to love him. And you're just like, okay, I'm down with that.
Okay.
And then, whenever they do the drop, it's one of the, like, and they did it so masterfully in Homecoming as well, when you find out that Toombs is the Vulture and that Peter is dating his daughter. Whenever that drop happens, it's just a fucking gasp in the theaters.
Yeah.
And we were there opening weekend, so it was all the people that would have been there. We had to see this one a little late, but I get the feeling that on opening night, this would have been the same reaction.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was just that much of a, holy shit, they baited me the first half of this movie to then
I actually was kind of like, because you have this feeling like, okay, you know, and then like you get to the halfway point and you're like, that's it?
Yeah.
That's it? You know, like, where's the big music? Where's the big fight?
Happening?
You know, where's it happening, you know? And like then they do the flip. And I didn't even have time to be like, oh, I fucking knew it. It was literally just like boom, 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 boom. Everything was happening after that. And I was just like,
well, because after he flips,
shit.
he starts calling out everybody's roles and what they did. And you're just like, Oh
you
my
motherfucker,
God.
you know?
You assembled A, the perfect team, and B, fuck you.
And then you realize how much of a dick Tony was, and then it makes you hurt a little bit inside.
Well, no, because it's like when Happy says towards the end, he's like, Tony wasn't anywhere near what the image of Tony was.
Right.
He second-guessed himself all the time. He was an asshole. He didn't do anything perfectly the way the world portrayed him. But because of all the things that they saw him do later on, they were like, oh, he is our savior. He's Iron Man. He's the greatest of the heroes.
Right.
So whenever you get there and you're just like, man, Tony really was an asshole.
Yeah.
But this guy seems like he's the one that's going to be able to get everything better for us. Like, you're down with this guy.
Oh, yeah. Like, they totally sell him to you. Plus, he's got that freaking face on him. The Jake Gyllenhaal face, you know? And it's just like, how could you not love him?
You know, I know he's a movie star and everything, and he's supposed to be beautiful. But he just seems like
he's an average-looking dude, but, like, he seems
like so genuine. You know what I mean? Like whenever,
like a genuinely good guy if you ever met him in person.
Yeah, like Steve Rogers,
Chris
Evans. You see him and you're not like, he's not like Brad Pitt, supermodel movie star or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
you know, Brad Pitt has a tooth in the middle of his face.
Really?
Yeah. I'll have to show you a picture.
Okay. But like when you see Chris Evans, you're not like, oh, he's a supermodel. But you are like, man, he just looks like a regular dude.
Just a really hot regular dude.
Well, yeah. I mean,
that's like a qualification, right?
Yeah. But after that happens and all that kind of stuff, you start going, okay, well, how's Peter gonna fix this? How is it gonna come back around?
God. And he really, like, I thought everything was going to go downhill. I really thought, I was like, there's no way he's coming back from this. There's no way. Somebody's going to get hurt. He's going to die. Like, something, there's really, like, when I mean it almost feels like you're going downhill, it really feels like you're going downhill. And you could see it. And Tom Holland does an amazing job of, like, showing that on his face.
Yeah.
And making the audience, at least me, feel that exact same way, because you feel the tug between his normal life and his superhero responsibility.
Yeah.
You feel like the disappointment of not living up to Tony's expectation of you. You know, you live up to, like, you feel that.
Yeah.
You know, he does an amazing job.
Well, and it's something that I loved is the scene with Peter and MJ on the bridge. Yeah. And the entire time, I love the whole secret identity thing, but I hate when it's a secret from MJ.
Yeah.
There's always that part of me where it's just like,
it's like when Lois Lane doesn't know that.
Right. If you love and trust this person enough, tell them.
Kids.
I totally get why he didn't tell her, but it's just such a relief for me.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Or you're just like,
and especially because like you don't, because. I mean, and Brad, that guy, God, like, that guy Brad is just a jerk. And, like...
Yeah.
I could feel literally, like, I felt like I was back in high school. Like, it was so, like... I
love how good these Spider-Man movies have been about high school relationships and high school drama.
Oh, yeah. Like, they've been really good, but also, like, playing into, like, this is a fiction. Like, this is...
Yeah.
Adult and like literal worldly responsibility.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they did a good job.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is I love the scene on the bridge where they're being awkward and it's rough because it's like teenage relationships, you don't know what you're doing and all that kind of stuff. But then once MJ pulls out the hologram projector and it falls on the ground and starts, he just flips into we need to save the world mode. He's like, I am Spider-Man. We need to go right now.
We gotta go.
We need to run.
Yeah, and like, and I honestly, like, when he was like, anybody who knows about this is in danger, I feel like I put all the people that I love in danger, and I was like, damn, I fucking feel that.
You feel it hard.
Like, I feel it so hard, because I understand, like, well, I don't understand, but like, I would, if... this is why Tom Holland is so great, because, like, I feel like I understand.
Yeah.
You know, like, I feel like I understand. Sorry, there's people walking. Like, I feel like I understand the pull and, like, the reverse and, like, having to give up, like, a seat next to MJ.
Yeah.
You know, this is your opportunity. You know, you have this whole big thing planned, and then you have to go save the world, and then your social life is, like, going under, and, like, you're still a teenage kid.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's not one of those things where you can just pull him out.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that. We don't have Tony Stark anymore. You're it, kid. Like, there you go.
Tony gave you the glasses. It's time for you to buck up, kiddo.
Yeah, but it's just like, I feel for him too, because I'm like,
yeah.
Look, he's just a kid.
Yeah.
He's a really, really smart kid, though.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how smart he was. And then he was like, oh yeah, we talk about Thor in my physics class, and I was like, you took physics in high school?
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's one of the favorite things for me about comic book Peter, is that he's like a world level genius.
Oh yeah.
You know, like he in certain comic books he's got his own inventing company, and I recently watched Into the Spider-Verse. I don't know if you've seen that.
I haven't.
It's really good. It's on Netflix right now. I watched it.
Oh God, I have so many shows.
Yeah, I watched it the other night, and in that movie, there's like a rundown of 616 Peter Parker, and it's just this long list of inventor, scientist, world-level genius, Spider-Man for 20 years. Like, you're just going through the list of, man, this guy is an exceptional person.
Yeah, literally.
Like,
and I think, like, he's not, like, because I feel like each Marvel hero has done some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, aside from even, like, Captain America, you know, where
even him, he killed Nazis.
Certain to say, well,
you know what I mean?
Really,
killing Nazis. No, I'm all for
like,
the Nazi thing. I'm just saying, like, Captain America used a gun.
Certain to say, and, like, but, I don't know. And, like, I mean, Iron Man was a jerk. Like, Doctor Strange, like, was really vain, and he really didn't care about anybody but himself.
He's also still kind of a jerk.
He's still kind of a jerk, but, like, I think he's got a higher calling.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's gotten a lot better in the last couple.
But I feel like Spider-Man is one of those things that you really just, like, he's one of those people you just really can't mess up.
Yeah.
You know, he's just got such a good heart. You know, and I think that's what makes me feel for him so much.
Yeah.
Is because he has a good heart.
Right.
You know? I was so mad I didn't wear my Spider-Man shirt. I didn't even think about it. I was so mad.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it either.
Because I have a Spider-Man shirt.
Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah. Okay, so going on from there, Peter goes to Berlin to try to meet up with Fury.
Oh yeah, this is before. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. He tries to meet up with Fury, and they go to what Peter thinks is this
shield.
Super secret. They don't even say it's SHIELD, actually.
No, but like looks like SHIELD.
Fury and Peter go into this gigantic facility, and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Where are they going? Why are they here?
Well, Nick Fury pulls up in a car.
It was like a nice Audi.
Yeah, like pulls up in a car and says, get in, you know, and like nobody's questioning it. And I'm like, I'd be freaking out.
He's always driving these crazy Audis for no reason.
He would not let Peter like say anything that he needed to say until they were in the place.
Right.
That they were going. And I was just like, that's kind of stupid because it's literally a car. Why?
Yeah, well, no, I get him saying, wait until we're secure. Because it's like, I don't know, Peter's identity and
also,
like
Nick
big
Fury,
shit.
So Peter also broke the seatbelt in his Audi, and I feel like Nick Fury would have pummeled his ass.
That was such a great scene.
Sorry to say, I was just like, that's when I was just kind of like, what's up with Nick Fury? Because like, I would have pummeled him.
I love it because seatbelts lock up on me like that all the time.
Oh my god.
And there's so much of me that just wants to do that when it happens. He just rips it out of the car and I'm like, thank you, Peter. Jesus. I fucking hate that feature on things. Mm-hmm. But they get to the facility and you learn the entire thing. The only two real things about that entire place are Peter and Nick. Literally everything else is a hologram.
Sorry to say, I was just like, no, Nick wasn't real, but he was. He was real because Quentin shot him.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm kind of confused on that too.
Well, he shot him, but like Nick Fury always wears that suit.
Well, right, but then, well, no, it couldn't have been the real Nick Fury. Because
he was limping with his bullet wound.
No, because remember later on in the big fight, Fury's there. It's like nothing happened. So if Quentin would have revealed himself to Fury at that point.
Oh no, you're right. Oh, I forgot about that.
So I guess.
Because I keep thinking about like when he just shoots him and then he falls on the ground.
Right. So
but then you realize that like he only did that so that Peter would tell him where his friends were.
Right. And Fury wouldn't have. At the end, Fury would have known about Spider-Man. So Spider-Man meets Fury, and then Fury must have also been a hologram?
Yes.
And then Mysterio must have been using that against Peter during their fight during that, which is the sequence I was talking about that was crazy, was that you see all these different things in these, like, he puts him in his original Spider-Man suit, and then he puts him in the pajama suit, and then they're just going through all of these different things, and it's just like this fever dream of confusing shit, and it was one of the best sequences I think I've ever seen, because you're just like, this is a comic book playing out right here in front of me on this screen.
Yeah.
And it's just this insane sequence of...
But then you see it in, like, real, like, almost real life, and you're just like...
Yeah.
You can imagine, like, I mean, like, you just imagine everything, like, happening to you, and, like, again, Tom Holland being such an amazing actor puts you in there.
Right.
And, like, you're just... I was so messed up.
Yeah.
Through that whole sequence, I don't feel like I breathed.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I took a single breath through that entire thing.
They really got me too, because whenever you think the illusion is down, and Fury has shot him. Fury has shot him, and the illusion goes down for a second. And he comes up to Peter, and he's like, "Come on now, you're a dumbass. I know you told somebody else. Who'd you tell?"
Yeah.
And Peter tells Fury, and then Fury turns back into Mysterio, and he's like, "Gotcha.
They're all gonna die."
They're all gonna die. And then Peter gets hit by a fucking train.
Yeah, he pushes him in front of a train, all like Regina George style, like.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And then he actually survives, and then he ends up in the Netherlands, and like apparently Netherlands people are even nicer than Canadians.
Oh, I think they're world renowned for being nice.
Oh, okay. I don't know. But like,
I also thought it was hilarious that he was in jail with these Netherlands soccer fans. And I've always been confused as to why the Netherlands is orange, but they are. Because that's not even their flag. But he breaks out of this prison in the stealth
and walks
suit.
out.
Yeah, he walks out because the guard who was guarding them took his stealth suit mask and was calling his wife. So Peter breaks the lock, opens the door, walks out, and because these Netherlands people are so nice, the soccer fans that are locked in jail with him
close the door.
Well, and it's funny because it's a small town, and they're like, "Oh, he's calling his wife. She's pregnant." And then the other guys are like, "Oh, that's so nice. I'm so happy for them. I can't wait to see them later." And then you're just like, "This has got to be like a tiniest town." And then they go back up to the door that Peter left open and just close it back and sit back down because they could have just left, but they didn't.
Yeah.
And then Peter's walking around and all that kind of stuff, and then he calls Happy, and he gets out of this field of flowers, which I thought was a beautiful shot to begin with.
Oh gosh, it was so nice. And then so the jet comes, and Happy's in the jet.
Happy lands.
And like the petals go everywhere, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then, like, Peter, I almost called him Tony. Peter is so fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, he's so fucked up, and then,
he makes Happy stop.
Yeah, he was like, "Don't come any closer to me. Tell me something only you would know." And he's like, "Something I would only know?" And he's just like, "What's wrong with you?"
You ordered a porn movie in Germany on accident.
Yeah, literally. And then he's like, okay, I'm done. You know,
and then he hugs Happy. And that's one of the real emotional moments in this movie, which I think were great. And you're just like, man, these are two people trying to fill the void that Tony Stark has left in their lives, and they're using each other. And you're just like, fuck, this is such a nice moment because, and it's extenuated by the different things in which Happy is in during the rest of the movie, where he's with Marissa Tomei, Aunt May, and you're just like, oh, they're hitting it off. They're gonna date and all that kind of stuff, and Peter's freaked out by that and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
But there's so much emotional weight to Happy and Peter, and the thing that I loved on the jet so much, and it might have been the most cathartic and like awesome part of the movie for me.
Oh yeah.
When he was building his own suit, and Back in Black starts playing. Mm-hmm. Happy's like, I'll take care of the music, and I was like, bitch, you better put on that AC/DC, because that was an Iron Man staple, was AC/DC, and you're just like, oh, this is the next Iron Man.
Well, and like one of the greatest shots, I think, in my opinion, where he's like figuring out, because you can tell he's a little hesitant, but then like he's figuring it out, and like they're not going to be able to see it, but he put
the
his
hand
arm
in the hologram the way Tony always does.
Yeah, and then he like puts it up, and then he looks at Happy, because Happy's staring at him, and he's just like, this is deja vu.
Happy is glowing.
Yeah, he's so happy.
He's just seeing the incarnation of Tony in Peter, and you can see it on his face, but early in the movie, Peter was like, I trust you to find the next Tony Stark. So he thought that it was, it's not me. I've got to find somebody else, which is why he gave it to Mysterio.
Yeah.
And then in that moment, you're like, no, Tony was talking about you, dude.
Starting to say, yeah.
Tony was talking about you. It was such a good scene because...
And then that's when everything kind of started to turn around, is when you're like... He's actually thinking.
Yeah.
Like, he's using his brain.
Yeah, he pulled, whenever Happy was like, all right, tell me the plan. Because Tony used to always just tell him the plan.
Yeah.
But Happy was like, all right, walk me through this, kid. What are we doing? And you're just like, he's making him think like Tony.
Yeah.
He's putting the Tony moves on him, but he's doing it reverse psychology. And you're just like, it's so nice. It's so
great.
Nice.
It was great.
And...
and then we go through the whole movie, and like, he beats Mysterio.
Before we move on, red and black suit. What do you think?
I love it.
It's fantastic.
I loved it. As soon as he was making it, I was like, I was literally punching you.
Yeah.
Because I was so happy.
Well, whenever Back in Black...
I was punching his hand for people who think I abuse him.
Well, you usually punch my hand or my leg, but...
Whichever is closer.
You were so excited, and Back in Black started playing, and I was like, this is the red and black suit, because I had seen the previews, or not the previews, but I had seen the leaks where he's in the red and black suit, and I was like, dude. Yeah. But the thing that I loved that I didn't notice in the leaks, there was a white spider on the back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is one of the few times that's ever happened. Like, there's usually not, like, white spiders. I think the only major one that's ever happened was in the Spider-Man video game that came out last year. And that was like a big deal that, oh man, this spider suit has a white spider on the chest and it's like all over. And I thought that red and black suit at the end was such a good mix of so many different Spider-Man suits that came before it. Mm-hmm. The way the Homecoming suit and the Civil War suit were before it. Yeah. Like, it's just such a nice...
better.
I love the production design in Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
And because even Mysterio's suit, you look at it and you're like, fuck, that's nice.
Beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yeah, because I think this is really accentuated by the Captain Marvel suit. Whenever in Captain Marvel she gets the red, yellow, and blue, that's probably the best looking suit.
Excuse you?
That's probably the best looking suit on a Marvel movie. Or on any superhero movie that I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Like, that scene, it just fucking hits you in the eyes. You're like...
Yeah.
Woo!
And you're finally like, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is, you know? Yeah. But, so, little fast forward, because I gotta get to this ending before, like, all of my rage ends.
Yeah. Okay.
So we end the movie, you know, like he beats Mysterio.
Peter beats Mysterio.
And like
gets the glasses back.
And the whole thing, so Peter does not kill Mysterio. He doesn't kill him.
No,
Peter
Mysterio
gets his spidey sense or his Peter tingle. And like he like gets through all of the drones and stuff, and like, and Mysterio tries to send. He was like, why aren't all the drones shooting? It's like, because you're in the line of fire, and he's like, I don't care. So basically, the drones killed him.
Yeah, one of them spun around when Peter punched it, and it shot Mysterio in the stomach.
Yeah.
And he falls over. And what you later find out is a holographic image of him is in the corner.
Yeah. He's
laying there, and at some point, he must have recorded a message.
Yeah.
Because the post-credit scene in this movie is Mysterio had a contingency plan. And the contingency plan was, if I'm going to lose, I'm going to fuck up his entire world.
Yeah.
And he records this message that has, in the real version of the events, Edith says, do you want to execute cancellation plan or something like that?
Yeah.
And Peter says, execute them all.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a weird phrase, but
Me too, and I was just like...
That's a weird thing to say. But then I realized later, oh no. During this post-credit scene, I was like, that's why they did this.
Yeah.
So...
They cut it.
Yeah, they've doctored the footage. The people that were behind Mysterio have doctored this footage and sent it to...
Well, because, like, before, like, when he actually died...
Yeah.
And when all of this stuff was, like... When everything was, like, it was, like, ending or whatever, the guy who, was back behind the scenes, he took out a flash drive and he downloaded something, and I was just like, oh, that's going to be a problem later.
That's going to come back later.
Come to fucking find out!
It wasn't even 5 minutes later.
No, and, like, he outed Spider-Man to the entire world.
This video got sent to J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah fucking Jameson again.
Yeah.
Which... You could have left it that and not had the reveal at the end.
Yeah.
And it would have had me fucking jumping with joy, because if my sheet wasn't reclined, I would have jumped out of the chair.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is one of those, they actually fucking did this again. I'm so happy. And they made him fucking Alex Jones podcasting, which I thought was a masterful move. They leaked it to J. Jonah Jameson, this doctored footage of Peter saying, execute them all, and you hear drones firing. And Mysterio says, Spider-Man is killing millions. His name is... Goes out a little bit.
Yeah.
Peter Parker.
I was so good. I was like, oh my gosh, they didn't get it all.
I know.
And it was like,
they
his
give
name
you that
is Peter Parker, and they put his fucking face on the wall.
On it. Yes.
I was just like, oh my god. And then literally, like, he's watching this happen as he's in the suit.
Because this is happening on the Madison Square Garden television in New York. And Peter is on top of a lamppost after swinging MJ around. He's on a lamppost watching this with the entirety of New York City.
Yeah. And then he goes, what the and like...
Yeah.
And credits roll. And I'm just like... I was so mad. I am so mad because they never give this guy a fucking break. I will say, there's been a lot of important post-credit scenes, but none of them have been, like, super important. This one it's not only a post-credit scene for this movie, it's pretty much a post-credit scene for the last 10 years of the Marvel movies. Starting to say,
where it's like, you guys have been in on this, we love you, we're with you.
Yeah.
Come fucking watch Spider-Man's story this next 10 years, because you are going to want to see this.
Yeah.
Because this is Peter becoming Iron Man light, you know, and you're just like, you got me again for however long you're going to make these.
Take my money. Literally take my money.
And I was sitting there going, I'm fucking pissed this isn't like comic books, because every comic book story I've ever read, it's been the trade paperback, like, all of them together in one book. So I know what the ending is. I don't fucking know what the ending is for this. Right. I don't know where they're going. I don't know what story beats they're going to hit with this. I am so excited and so ready for everything that's coming up, but I'm also fucking pissed it's not here yet.
Me too.
Because we don't even know when we're going to see him again.
Right.
And
we don't even know what are the plans. Like, do we have any like release dates for any movies yet?
We have the confirmed movies, The Eternals, which just got some more casting this week. Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things is joining the cast.
Okay.
By the way, Stranger Things, I know you haven't watched it.
I've been meaning to, but I just haven't gotten around to it.
Fantastic.
I know. Everybody keeps telling me.
Yes, I'm in the middle of watching season 3 currently.
Oh, you have to watch the whole episode of the finale of season 3, apparently.
I've heard that. You
have to watch the whole thing. Even the end credits, you have to watch the whole thing. Because if you just end it before the credits end, you're going to be upset. Yeah. But you have to watch the whole ending. Yeah, Taylor told me.
Yeah. I'll probably end up watching that at some point in the next couple of days. But,
it's hot.
It's okay. There's the Eternals. There's confirmed a Black Panther 2. Which I'm personally pumped for. Because I thought Black Panther 1 was really good, and I also really love I love being in the world of Black Panther and being in Wakanda.
Yeah. Wakanda's cool as fuck.
Yeah. That's something I'm so looking forward to going back to.
Oh, yeah.
Is that part of the Marvel Universe.
I just feel like I can't watch any of the trailers or I can't see any conception art because I will not see where it's going. I just have to wait and I have to go into theaters and I have to see it for myself because I am such a judgmental person that I'm not going to take it for what it is. Yeah. Like, I'm going to be like, well, that's stupid. Why didn't they do this? And then, like, not really get the whole idea because, like, I feel like you get the whole idea. Yeah. But then, like, I have to watch the movie as it plays out before I make any judgment.
I think a lot of that has to do with, if you're a comic book fan, a lot of these stories have had major story beats pulled from the comic books. Mm-hmm. So if you recognize the story beat, you're like, oh, I think they're going this way.
Okay. So I just don't have all the information.
No. Well, and I don't expect anybody really to have all that information because there's only a select few of us that care that much, you know, but trying to continue here, there's going to be Guardians 3, which I'm looking forward to. They're probably going to do Adam Warlock, who was teased in Guardians 2. Mm-hmm. There's the Black Widow movie.
Oh, yes.
And nobody seems to know if that's a prequel or a current day thing.
So starting to say, I'm just like, I'm really...
It's very confusing.
Yeah, I'm also concerned.
Well, the theory is it's a Red Room prequel story for her. The Red Room is the place where she was brainwashed and all that kind of stuff. Okay. That's her origin story, is the Red Room. Okay. So they're talking about all these things, but there's no real solid set in stone schedule for these things yet. We don't know. Waiting. Yes. I think a lot of what we're waiting for is how are X-Men and Fantastic Four and all the Fox properties going to integrate into this.
That's true.
Because that's what everybody's like, okay, when are we getting our first MCU X-Men movie? Especially after...
wait.
Well, I was going to say, especially after the Dark Phoenix bombing this last week. Whew. Yeah. Yeah, I could wait on that too.
Yeah, I can wait.
I also don't want any of those people to come back as any of the X-Men. I'm done with them.
Honestly, I loved X-Men when it was the original. When we had Hugh Jackman as Logan.
Patrick Stewart.
Oh, love it. But now with the new spin that they're taking it, even though I love Jennifer Lawrence and I love the storyline that they've taken with Mystique.
Can I tell you something really funny about the Phoenix Mystique?
What?
They kill her in like the first 10 minutes of the movie.
I know.
And she seems like she doesn't want to be there for any of it. So they just
it's Jennifer Lawrence, you really like.
Well,
she's been phoning it in for the last 5 years.
Well, she's been phoning it in with this specifically because this is something. She has to get dressed in the makeup shit, which takes forever.
Gosh, I mean, it's like Jim Carrey Grinch. I mean, Jesus.
Yes, but like on top of that, these most recent X-Men movies have been so trash, and it's because they don't pay attention to the last one.
It's kind of sad that the best X-Men feature that I've seen has been in Deadpool.
Really? You didn't like Logan that much?
I didn't watch Logan.
Oh,
I said that I've seen.
Okay. Yeah, no, I apologize.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen Logan, but I think I probably should, but I don't know if I'm mentally ready for it. Because it's the end. It's the end. It's like the end of the good ones, you know?
Yeah, but I think being with Hugh Jackman that long, it feels cathartic.
He's a good guy. Now he's doing Broadway. That's fun.
Yeah, and as much as I don't want him to be beholden to come to the MCU, I would super love to see him on screen with them. Mm-hmm. But, like, you're missing the chance to see him with Tony and Steve Rogers and all that stuff. God. So, yeah. Another big story point in that movie that I thought was interesting was the void in the world of Tony Stark. From Tony Stark. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like...
There's murals everywhere of him. And it makes so much sense, but you just see like these background images, like they're at school, and the entire wall behind Ned and Peter is just Iron Man. Mm-hmm. And you see it in the trailers too, but it's so accentuated in the movie. And it takes a toll on Peter too, because it feels like he's constantly around it, and he never gets time to grieve.
Yeah.
You know, he never has time to heal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
10 out of 10 would recommend. Please go see it. Like,
you
gotta get through the first half. If you don't get through the first half and you're just like phoning it in for the rest of it, it's like you can't do that.
I know a lot of people have issues with pacing in movies, and I usually do too. But when the second half of a movie like this is so good to get you into it, I think that some pacing.
Well, especially
can be
because
forgiven.
if you sat through Endgame. If you sat through the first part of Endgame, this is going to be nothing for you.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think they're starting to pace it the same way. Except for a Spider-Man movie, this was a little bit, like, rushed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was, like, at least the first part of it was. But I think that's what they were wanting you to feel. They were wanting you to feel like it was scripted, that there wasn't a lot of deepness.
Right. Everything's shallow.
Depth.
Everything's shallow.
You know, and it's just kind of like, you know, whatever. And you're just like, really? This is all the hype? And then you get to the second half and you're like, oh, this is the hype. Mm-hmm. Okay, I understand. Yeah. And it's the same thing with Endgame. Like, your first thing is just like, okay, really?
Yeah.
Really? Like, this sucks. Like, this is dumb. Like, I hate this. But then you get to the second half and you're like, oh.
Well, you usually have more extreme reactions than that. Or to these things. First part of Endgame, I was like, this is awesome. They are affecting the entire world with this. Because the first part of Endgame, you're just like, okay, they've killed Thanos in the first 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
And then you spend the next 45 going, boy, this world sucks without everybody.
Literally, yeah. So, yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You're just better at putting it into words than I am. But, like, you get through all of that and you're just like, okay, life after the blip is what they call it.
That was such a strange... Because I know the snap itself was a thing.
Yeah.
But people wouldn't know that.
Right.
So the larger world calls it a blip because people blipped out of existence.
Yeah.
Which I get, but for the past 3 years, we've been calling it the snap. So, like, everybody got snapped, and then now in their world it's a blip, and we're like, oh, fuck, we gotta change what we call it now. God.
Okay, but yeah, so...
So, do you want to do a rating system? Because I don't really believe in rating systems.
No, not at all.
Okay. Like,
I just say, like, so for anybody who doesn't know me, on the off chance that you're watching this.
Yeah.
When I say 10 out of 10, it just means that I highly recommend it. There's not a rating scale. It's not like 10 out of 10 relative to other Marvel movies. It's literally like, I highly recommend you go watch
10 out of 10 would connote in like rating systems, it's a perfect movie. It's not a perfect movie.
No.
There are problems with it.
Yeah.
But it's like, should you go out and see this? Absolutely. Especially if you're a Marvel fan, which I expect most people already have.
And I'm not even a die-hard Marvel fan.
No, out of the two of us, I'm the one that pushes for this.
Yes, but like, and I mean, you kind of forced me to come see this movie.
Yeah.
Because I work all weekend. But anyways.
Yeah, you've been busy with work, and then we went after you came home. But
so, even I like this movie.
Yeah.
You know, but I also love Spider-Man.
Yeah. Well, and you're kind of finicky on movies sometimes when it comes to this kind of stuff. Like, if you're not in the right mood, a movie's not going to hit you right. But I think this is one of those things that would have overcome anything.
So it was all good.
Yeah. But
great movie. Please go see it. Like,
yeah, definitely recommended.
If you're one of those people who kind of like I think Mitchell sometimes is one of these people. If you watch something for spoilers before you go. You know, but even I feel like if you knew all the spoilers, you'd still, because I never saw any spoiler things, but like I knew the first time I met the guy, I was like, there's something wrong with him.
You're not wrong on the spoilers thing. The last thing that I watched that had spoilers before I went to the movie, I watched a review for Batman vs. Superman.
Oh, God.
And it made me hate the movie more than I probably would have.
Yeah.
And I felt really bad about it. And I felt like my opinion wasn't genuine. So I quit doing that.
Okay, well.
Because, like, even with shit like this, I've been trying to avoid it for the last 2 weeks. And it's so hard for me. Because my YouTube timeline is just review, thoughts, reactions.
Yeah.
It's just...
Funhouse just keeps on.
I know.
With it.
I was so glad... I was in my podcast app listening to podcasts when I was sleeping. And the Far From Home review from... Funhouse
was that
on
today?
It was on my timeline last week.
Oh, okay.
And thankfully when I was asleep it skipped over, or it played it and I didn't hear a bit of it.
Yeah, no, because you sleep through fucking train wrecks.
Yeah. So I didn't get it spoiled, thank God.
Yeah.
So probably what I'm gonna do while I'm editing this is going to be listening to reviews.
Yeah.
So
okay, so that was that.
Yeah, we don't know what's next for the MCU other than Black Widow is for sure the next one. Mm-hmm. But that's the beginning of Phase 4, and we don't know what that's going to be. So, this is, I guess, is going to be the first of what will probably be many reviews for the MCU.
Yeah.
And whatever else we decide to go watch.
Yeah. So, want to give a little shout out for all of the new things that I've been seeing, like, on social media. Shout out to Christine, Simply Nail Logical.
Oh, yeah.
Came out with her own fucking nail polish brand, girl, work. I'm so excited, and they look so good, and, like, I'm just so proud of her.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they're even so good that you like them.
Well, I love the colors.
Yeah.
She's got a black and a blue. It's like...
Blackest black. One coat black.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
We watched the her announcement video for it the other day because he was so nice. He was like, I'm gonna try and get that for you. So he was gonna buy me the black polish because he thought that it was hollow.
Yeah.
He thought it was black hollow, and I was like, black hollow which? He was like, no, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. And I was just like, let's watch the announcement video because you can see what it's all about. Right. And I showed it to him. He was like, he was geeking out so bad.
Well, because her royal blue, I want to paint that color on everything I own for the rest of my life.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I want my truck covered in that blue. I want my keys covered in that blue. I want my phone covered in that blue. Yeah. I want my glasses covered in that blue. Like,
it's beautiful.
It's great.
Yeah. So
it's UK blue, so
it's not UK blue.
It's closer than most things. So it's got me hooked on it.
Whatever.
Yeah. Any other shout outs as we're winding down a little bit here? I want to give a shout out to my friend Mike who just put out an EP. Or put out a single on an EP. Yeah.
Yay, Mike!
Yeah. I also need to give a shout out to Dan, who's been streaming a lot recently.
Oh, I saw that. I've been seeing that. What up, Dan?
Yeah.
They probably don't listen to this, or do they?
The twins definitely do.
Yeah, because they want to hear me talk shit about them.
Dakota loved it.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he watch your guys's?
No, he was watching ours.
Really?
Yeah, he really enjoyed it. He only watched like the first 5 minutes, admittedly, but he was like,
"Yeah, but that was like
I'm
me.
down with this. This is awesome."
That was literally me, though. Yeah. Like, I love,
Yeah.
So, shout out to everybody who watches this, who's friends with us.
Shout out to all 9 people. Hopefully, we can get to 10 this time.
Oh my god!
I'm not doing the like, comment, subscribe garbage that people do.
My Jesus!
I can't stand that.
No, if you like it, you like it.
If you like it, you've been watching YouTube long enough to know what to do.
If this is literally the only one that you want to listen to, that's fine.
Yeah. There is no required listening or viewing for this.
Absolutely not. This is more cathartic for us.
This is me doing it for me, us doing it for us. I don't care if anybody watches or listens.
Me either. Because we just watch it like 10 times before we go to bed.
Oh,
we're just like, oh my god, we're so funny.
Yeah, I'm going to go to sleep to this tonight, probably.
Oh my god. So, anything else?
I can't really
Also,
think of...
since we didn't get to talk about this, and it's been like, what? 2 or 3 weeks since your last podcast?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you for doing that to Caleb.
I knew you were going to say that.
Fuck you. Why would you say that to him?
I don't know. I get to talking, and I just kind of start saying things that I remember. Yeah. You got really mad at me.
Now he's gonna think that I hate him. Or
No.
hate his hair.
Well...
I do hate his hair.
I know.
I do. But
you got mad at me for saying it.
Well, yeah, because he shouldn't care what I think about his hair.
Well, yeah.
And he doesn't, and that's good. But I can have my own opinions about his hair, and he can have his own opinions about other things. That doesn't mean we're not friends, and I can't tell you shit and then expect you to not go tell other people.
I know.
You broke a layer of trust.
I did. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I love you.
I love you too.
I apologize.
Also, shout out to Inkbox. Temporary tattoos.
Oh yeah, Allie's got a temporary tattoo of waves on her arm. Which
it's called. So if you go on their website, it's called Life.
Okay.
Is the name of the tattoo.
Okay.
And it's day 2 right now.
It's showing up pretty well.
It's showing up, but like I really hope it gets a lot darker.
Yeah.
We'll see. And I bet the next time that I get on the podcast, I'll I'll be in Wisconsin. But
the next time you're on the podcast is probably going to be 3 weeks from now.
Well, and it'll probably be gone by then, but like
right.
I am so ready cuz
you'll have to send me pictures.
I will. So a little like insight to our relationship. Mitchell surprised me the other day, and he was gonna go take me to a tattoo parlor.
Yeah, we were gonna talk to a tattoo guy about getting tattoos,
and he was gonna pay for my down payment.
Yeah.
And it was so cute. But then we got there, and then the guy wasn't
closed.
open. So
because I didn't know the times because my mom was getting a tattoo there the day before, and I just assumed he was open.
Well, it says appointment only.
Yeah, well, you have to set up an appointment, and that's what we were doing, and
whatever.
But yeah, we want to go get tattoos.
Yeah, and I was really unsure about it because I'm one of those people, like, if I'm gonna make a decision that's gonna affect the rest of my life, I'd rather be real certain about it.
Yeah.
So, and this is not sponsored at all.
No.
But like, I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and I keep talking to my parents about it, and like, my mom is like super against tattoos that are not. She won't get one. She thinks they're beautiful, but she really doesn't like that I want a tattoo on a place that I do not cover up.
Yeah, it's on your forearm.
Yeah, it's not like somewhere like, oh my gosh, she put it on like her chest or something. It's like on my forearm. It's in the middle of my like crevasse in my like elbow. And like, this is really great because then I get to know like how big I want it, placement, if I want to like change it. And the great thing is, if it doesn't show up, number 1, I can hide it. Number 2, if it doesn't show up, it's going to be gone in like 8 days. If I really try to get it off, it'll come off. You know? But like, I'm really enjoying it right now. And the more that it develops and the more that I live with it, I feel like a total badass. Even though it's not really like a badass tattoo.
I'm finally bringing you around to the
tattoo. Like I'm really like, well, I've wanted a tattoo for a long time.
I know you've wanted a tattoo for a long time, but we always talk about it in the future.
I'm just like, I don't want to.
Yeah, we always talk about it in the future, and then putting it right out on Front Street this time, especially with you having that, you're just like, all right, I'm kind of down for this.
Yeah, because it's on my body now, and I'm just like, I'm actually okay with it.
That's a life decision you can make now.
Yeah, like I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad about it, and I know like I'm real certain about it because I don't want to go in there. I'm also like, I have like mad social anxiety when I'm like doing something I don't have any background on. So now that I'm like, I know like what kind of size that I want. I know where I want it to be. I know like maybe ideas for future tattoos. How this tattoo incorporates with it, like, and where I want it, you know, because those are all major things to think about when you're getting a tattoo. I can finally go in there and say, this is what I want.
And feel good about your decision. Yeah,
let's talk. And then when he puts it on my body, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And it's something I'm going to be able to live with. And I really love like the tattoos that like mean something to you now, but you know that meaning can change later.
That's kind of the way. Well, mine means something specifically, but that's something I like about yours. And the one you have on your arm now is it's a triangle with waves coming out of it.
Yep.
So it's going to be easily. You can easily add on to it in a way that I find.
It is.
Well, and it's very interesting visually.
Yeah.
That I like.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah. He keeps like holding my arm and twisting it. Not like twisting it hard, but like, because it's on the inside of my arm, it's not on the outside. So he'll like twist it, and he's like, I really like it. And I'm like, well, awesome. I'm trying to do things.
Well, it's funny because we want our tattoos on the same place on the opposite arms.
Yeah. We're gonna get matching forearm tattoos.
Except they're not going to match at all.
No, they're not. We're just going to get them at the same time.
They're going to be so different because yours is very like abstract artistic.
Well, because I would much rather, because like that also gives me an out. Like everything I do, like I always need an out.
Yeah.
You know, like just in case.
Right.
So it's like if I don't like it for what it means, or like I don't want to like for something as arbitrary as like dates or a person's name.
Yeah.
Like really stupid. Like unless it was like I'm not gonna get a marriage date, maybe a birth date.
I was gonna say, you know, I
like,
never understand people that do it with like things that can be temporary.
Yeah.
Like marriages can be temporary.
Yeah.
Children are forever.
Children are forever.
I understand getting like kids' names and kids' dates and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. That I'm totally down
I still
with
think that's a little bit cheesy, but that's just me. But I'm not gonna hate on you if you have your kid's name on your chest.
Like
I'm not.
I don't know.
At all.
You might not remember this, but the wrestler AJ Styles.
I remember him.
Yeah, he's got his kids' names and dates on his side.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
Yes. And, I love it, but like for me personally, like I'm never gonna get somebody's name tattooed on my body.
Yeah.
And like I have tattoos that I want to get for my family. Mm-hmm. You know, like I have different things, but none of them include their names. None of them include their birthdays. Nothing include not because family is temporary, but because.
You want something that's more meaningful than that.
Yeah, because, like, I have things that I want to get from my dad. Katie and I are probably going to get a matching tattoo at some point or another, probably when our relationship is a little bit more stable. But
you and me have the same theory on these things. It's like, I want something that symbolizes relationships more than words can describe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and, like, so perfect example is the tattoo that I want for my dad. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna start crying because he actually
let's not do that.
He got in a wreck yesterday.
Yeah.
He's fine, but like
had
a little bit of a freak out.
I was gonna say, he's already fine. He texted you he was fine. This happened yesterday. He's fine today. You were crying.
Well, I'm still gonna start crying.
No, I know, because these things will get you anyways.
Yeah, but so like the tattoo I want to get for my dad is in his handwriting. Mm-hmm. I want the words "apply yourself."
Yeah.
Because that is something that he would always tell me. Because, like, it was little things when I was a kid, you know? It was like, what would you get on your report card? Dad, I got 99 out of 100. Isn't that great? And he was like, if you applied yourself, you could have got that 100. And it's almost like he set up my mindset that no matter how good that you did, you can always do better the next time.
Yeah.
As long as you apply yourself. And, like, he also told me, like, it's like, because when we won state, right. He asked me about it after. He was like, what did you think before? Like, after you walked off that field, after you watched that whole performance, after you've heard it, after you... In the rain, what did you think? And I was like, I just thought to myself, I hope it was enough. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you applied yourself. Yeah. And you applying yourself had everybody on that field applying themselves. Mm-hmm. And when you apply yourself and you apply yourself 110%, whatever the outcome is, that's how it was meant to be. Yeah. You know, just basically do your best. Right. But, but apply yourself is just a constant reminder to me, and it will always make me think of him. Mm-hmm. So it's that kind of thing. That's probably the only words I would get on my body. Right. But then the other thing is, like, for my grandma, it was going to be my very first tattoo. I want a bird of paradise on my forearm, mm-hmm. like on the outside, on my scar that I got from Chick-fil-A. Mm-hmm. But, and it's because every time she goes to Florida or anywhere tropical and she sees a bird of paradise, she'll send it to me because it's my favorite flower. Mm-hmm. And it's just that, I don't know, that connection to, like, that state of mind when you're on vacation, or that like connection to your family when they're in a different place. Like, that's just how my grandma is, you know?
Yeah.
So enough about sentimental tattoos, because I'm gonna start crying. But, you know, I'm real excited for it. So if you see me walking around with some new ink, it's temporary. So, like, but nobody's noticed it at work yet.
Yeah, which is interesting to me.
Well, I mean, I don't think they really pay much of attention, because I'm just running around all the time doing all kinds of stuff.
Well, and it's kind of in an easily concealable place if you're doing stuff.
Yeah, but then, like, I kind of, like...
Do you kind of flaunt it a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, especially to, like, customers.
Yeah.
Like, because if I'm on register and I'm, like, handing you your receipt, I'll hand it to you
with
my
that
left
arm. Yeah.
Well, I do it with my left arm anyways, just because, like, the printer's on that side. Mm-hmm. So I'll grab it and then I'll give it to you with my left arm, and I'm just waiting for somebody to say something.
Right.
But nobody ever does. So I'm just like, oh, okay. The only person who really says anything about it is Ellen, but she watched me put it on. So, like...
Right.
Yeah. And I bought 2, but Katie has convinced me to give the other one to her. So we'll see if she does it different. I'll ask her, because she's probably going to do it on our Wisconsin trip. Mm-hmm. So I will ask her. I will take pictures of it day to day and see if hers is a little different than mine, because I don't know where she's going to put it.
Yeah.
Because it's just it's a 1 by 1 inch sun that I got for me.
Yeah.
But she decided she just knows how to get to me, you know.
Yeah.
So then she
got
convinced me. Yeah, she convinced me to give it to her. But it was down here in Louisville, so I had to hide it from myself, so I didn't put it on my body.
Right. Because you were very impulsive that way.
On some things, yes.
Yeah.
Some things, no. But like.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anything else?
There's plenty of things I want to talk about. We might have to do it on a different podcast.
That's fine.
Okay. Because the U.S. women's national team has me
intrigued.
But
I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I'll talk about that with the twins, because they'll probably...
Well, maybe. But the reason I want to talk about it with you is I find it so interesting because, especially with this is the first time in sports where I can think equal pay is actually plausible. Mm-hmm. And I say that because, like, people have been clamoring for it in the WNBA the entire time. Like, this, for a very, very long time, we've been saying, or people have been saying, the WNBA players should be paid as well as NBA players. Mm-hmm. My big problem with that is the WNBA does not make anywhere near the same amount of money.
And I also feel that way. Yeah. Not to say that they don't deserve the same rates. But, right. And it's almost the same argument that, like, you should pay college kids.
Well, and, like, as people, the WNBA players are great.
Yeah.
Good people. They're no less than actual NBA players.
Right.
The problem is their value is less than NBA players.
From a marketing and a business standpoint.
I was going to say, purely from business.
Yeah.
The NBA, like...
It just gets more people to watch it.
The New York Knicks as a team by themselves are worth $4 billion to be sold. And the way that all of these professional league contracts go is that whatever revenue the league takes in, a certain percentage of that has to go to the players.
Right.
So if you take in more money in the NBA, more money will be going to these players.
Right.
That's just the way that's supposed to be set up.
Supposed to.
Well, but the thing with the WNBA is, by and large, they're worth nowhere near the same amount of money.
Right.
In terms of teams and stuff like that.
Right.
Granted, WNBA is owned by the NBA. Yeah. So one could say, well, if you take some of the money from the NBA and pay it to these players, well, yes, theoretically.
Yeah, but then you're almost like...
Then it's almost like giving them a handout.
Yeah, it's bad business.
Yeah.
And which is why I hate business, because it makes sense.
Right. And I watched this thing with Katie Nolan one time where she was going through all of the history of the leagues and stuff like that. And if you look at where the WNBA is now in terms of how long they've been around, and if you look at the same time span when the NBA started, they're at almost exactly the same point.
Well, that makes me feel better.
So the future of the league does look good. But I just find the argument to be a little disingenuous on both sides. Because people on the everybody should get equal pay willingly ignore the business side of it, where Steph Curry gets a $220 million contract, which is worth more than most of the entire WNBA in terms of their actual revenue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's one player on one team and one contract.
And equal pay doesn't have to mean, like, dollar to dollar. Equal pay to me, especially in a business standpoint, is like percentages. Like, if like an NBA player gets like a 30% cut, a WNBA player should get a 30% cut.
That's where I'm with you, and I would have to look at the percentages on both sides in order to see that, because I don't really know that argument very well.
Right.
But I feel like people are willing to ignore both sides.
Oh, I agree, because like on one side it's just like, oh, did my car turn off?
The lights turned off.
Oh, that's fine. Because on one side it's just like, duh, equal pay, because like they're doing the same job. But then you have to look at it in the span of, this is a league that doesn't make as much money. People don't really watch it a whole lot, and it hasn't been around for as long. So you have to take all those things into consideration. No, they're not going to make as much money. You know, like, they're not going to make as much money.
Right.
But you also have to think, like, how much of the percentage are they getting? Because if you're paying an NBA player 30% and you're paying a WNBA player 5%, that's a fucking problem.
Oh yeah.
That's not okay.
For sure.
You need to be paying the same amount. Now, maybe dollars and cents wise, it does not come out to the set. Like, of course, it's not going to be $20 million all the way around.
Yeah.
But it needs to be the same percentage at least. At least it needs to be the same percentage. And then when the WNBA gets popularity and makes as much money as the NBA does,
it'll be the same. Yeah.
Then it should be the same.
But the reason that this has got me so intrigued, specifically in the case of the U.S. Women's National Team, they are making more money than the U.S. Men's National Team.
Really?
And they get paid less. They've just won their second World Cup in a row, in a dominant fashion, in which Megan Rapinoe, their top star, got the golden boot.
I remember seeing an ad for this, that they were doing an infomercial about, like, equal pay when they won the first World Cup.
Yeah, well, they won a second one. They make more money than the U.S. Men's National Team. Megan Rapinoe got the best player in the tournament because she scored the most goals. They're bringing in so much revenue, more than the U.S. Men's National Team, which can't win a fucking thing.
Yeah.
We got second in a thing called the Gold Cup to Mexico. We cannot beat Mexico, and Mexico's not even that good in soccer. So, some reason or another, the men's national team still gets paid more than the women's national team.
Which in that aspect, that's dumb as shit.
Exactly.
If you're making more money, you need to be given more money.
Yeah,
it's again with those percentages.
Yeah.
If the men's team is getting the same cut, the women's team needs to be getting the same cut. Now, if the women's team is making more money, that means that they get more money.
Yeah.
But the percentages need to stay the same.
Yeah.
You can't have.
That's like in the workplace, like whenever people are going back and forth about the pay gap.
Oh, fuck the pay gap.
I don't really subscribe to either point of view. I would just because paternity leave and maternity leave and all that kind of stuff. There's a huge argument to be made that those affect things. And they do, a lot. But my thing is, just make the per hour the same.
Yeah.
Because then you're being paid the same for the work that you do.
Yeah, 100%. If you're doing the same job...
Yeah.
one person should not get a higher salary, which I think people get screwed over on salaries.
Oh yeah.
Anytime they work salary, they get screwed.
Yeah, if you're not an hourly worker,
you get screwed.
Yeah.
If you get salary and you're a hardworking person, and I think honestly salary probably manifests this whenever I stop, whenever my time clock stops, that's when I stop.
Yeah.
And then that's when it's I work so much harder than you do and I get paid less than you do, and it's just not to say that those people who are on salary don't work their due, but I can see where that could get messy.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of complicated stuff, and I think the reason why there's so much controversy about really anything is there's complex problems and people are trying to provide simple solutions.
Yeah.
And you cannot solve complex problems with simple solutions. It does not work like that.
Yeah.
Unless you just want to scrap the whole thing and start over. And even that creates a problem.
Yeah.
Because you have people who want it the old way, and then you have people who want it a different way, and then they don't like the way that you're doing it now, and they'd rather you go back to the old way. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Human beings are complicated. So we need complicated and complex solutions.
Yeah.
With steps. I also don't believe you can do everything at once.
Right.
Do it in steps. And I'm not a very patient person. So it makes for a hard time. But
yeah.
Do it in steps. You can't just try and make everything go all at once.
Yeah.
You can put it out there, but don't really don't expect anything, because you're not going to get anything.
Right.
We said we weren't going to talk about this, and now we're talking.
I know,
about
we got down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you can think of you want to talk about? Because my stomach is rumbling, so I'm kind of all down for reheating our leftovers soon.
Yeah.
But I can wait if you want to talk about something else.
No, I think I hit everything that I wanted to hit.
Yeah. Those have just been the things that have been itching on my brain.
Yeah.
In terms of things that I want to talk to you about.
You don't want to talk to me about everything?
I want to talk
about. I thought we were best friends.
I want to talk about the comic book Immortal Hulk.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about that. So I feel like half the video is just going to be you explaining it to me.
Well, I was going to say a little ad for next week. Me and the twins are going to do a comic book podcast next week.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Are you going to explain stuff, or are you guys just going to argue about it?
I think we've come down to the solution that we're going to kind of bring our own topics, but Caleb is going to drive the podcast. So I'm leaving this one to Caleb. Caleb is my guy. He's got it covered. I'm following him wherever he's going with this. And I've got the stuff I want to talk about.
Good old Barnacle Boy.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, I forgot that's... Okay, no. It's a joke between me and Claire.
Oh.
We had nicknames for all of you guys.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
He was Barnacle Boy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did I have one?
Yes, you did.
Do I want to know what it was?
Welcome to Life by an Airport.
That airplane was super low.
Yeah, they come cruising through here all the time.
Yeah. Do I want to know what my nickname was?
It wasn't bad.
What was it?
I'm pretty sure it was Bacon or Plaid or something like that. I don't remember.
Plaid makes more sense than Bacon does.
It was either Plaid, Flannel, or Bacon.
Why would it have been Bacon? You don't know?
Probably we had a conversation about bacon and how much you love it or something like that.
I don't really like bacon that much.
I know. I don't know where it came
That's weird.
from.
Okay.
I don't remember what it was. I just remember Caleb's being specifically Barnacle Boy.
Yeah. Okay, well...
And I will tell you the thing behind that, because I feel like this is just going to be a constant back and forth fight between me and Caleb now until
I get
we
the feeling
get
back
onto
and
the
forth
podcast.
Until
we all get onto the podcast together and then we fight in person.
Until the Truck Talk Infinity War happens, in which my life in both halves turns into utter chaos.
Oh my god. But I will tell you why I call him Barnacle Boy and how I came up with that later.
Okay.
And then that's just gonna make him want to know.
Yeah, he's gonna get pissed, and then he's gonna make me tell him.
No, you're not allowed to tell him.
I know, but then I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to redirect him to you.
No, if you're gonna tell him, then I'm not gonna tell you.
No, I know. I'm just gonna redirect him to you. Submit all questions to Ally Michaels at
1234 Internet Street.
Shout
out to Jenna Marbles.
At 123 Help. Shout out to John Tron. Okay. Well, thank you for being on the podcast again. I really appreciate you going to watch freaking Spider-Man with me, man.
You're welcome. Yeah. I love Spider-Man.
I love Spider-Man too. And it was a great movie, and we had a great time, and we will never watch it again. I'm just kidding.
I was trying to say, I was like, what we need to do? We need to get all of them. And then
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I was going to say, when Disney Plus comes out, we are all over that shit.
Oh, I meant like DVD. But then DVD is like the new VHS, so... Yeah. Shut up.
Don't shit talk my VHS collection, dog.
I have a VHS. Listen. Okay, we're going to end it with this little
This will be the last thought.
Tidbit of my life. So, I have a VHS player in my room at the house. Mm-hmm. And the only reason I have a VHS player is, number one, I didn't put it up there. I didn't even know it was up there. Number two, I had one VHS disc. Or not disc, but
disc.
You know what I mean?
Tape.
The tape. Yeah, I had a VHS tape. And the only reason that I had it, because we got rid of all the other ones, was because it was a personalized episode of Barney for my 5th birthday.
What?
Yes.
Personalized how?
Like, it said my name. It's like, happy birthday, Ally.
That's weird.
It was great.
I mean, it's great, but it's weird.
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't have it anymore. I was kind of pissed when Mom told me that we didn't have it anymore, but like...
Yeah. I have a tape with my dad on the news whenever our shop got flooded when I was 4. Well, it's funny because it's right in the middle of 2 different ESPN tractor pulling shows.
If that's not the perfect representation of your entire life. Yeah. Like...
Oh, I watched the shit out of the tractor pulling shows.
Oh my god. But I can't what was it that I was watching that I saw? Oh, I was watching Jaws.
Oh yeah.
And there was an extra that looked just like your dad.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Like him. Yeah. Just like him. I was like, when did your dad become an extra on Jaws?
He probably was like 10.
Honest to God, but like...
Well, no, Jaws came out in like 75, he would have been 6 or something like that.
I thought it was 72. Was it 75?
Was it 70? If it was 72, he was 3.
Then I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know.
I knew it was early.
I don't care 70s. Enough about Jaws to remember.
I only watched the first one because I thought I was gonna be scared.
Where did I see Jaws 2? Jaws 2 is somewhere on...
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, that's what it was. I saw it on Netflix.
All the Jaws are on Netflix, I think. Except for the
I'll never
newer
watch
ones. Me either. I watched the first one just so I could like get a taste of it, and then I realized that it was a 70s movie and how much I hated it. Yeah. So like, yeah.
Okay.
I think we're gonna be done because I'm so tired.
Yeah, wrapping up the podcast here. This was fun. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
That's my new phrase. Not a problem.
Yeah, you're stealing it from me. No problem.
No, I said no problem before, and now I'm saying not a problem.
I know. Well, I'm going to be on here with the twins talking about comic books next week.
Okay.
So, I'm
going to be out of town next week.
I was going to say, we are trading turns getting out of town. So. Yeah,
but then I have a birthday. Oh my God, Mitchell's birthday! We totally forgot. So, everybody, yeah, because we had your birthday in between.
Yeah.
Because you left.
Right.
So, everybody say happy birthday to Mitchell in the comments, even though it's like...
Happy belated birthday. I didn't get carded the first time I bought alcohol.
Yeah, that's true. He bought alcohol today. So, fun times.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we have alcohol.
We have alcohol. I am pumped for the Smirnoff. Let's go drink some.
Okay, so but everybody in the comments, if you're watching this,
there was
please,
no comments last time on the video.
It's okay. If you're watching this, please comment to Mitchell, happy 21st.
I can't wait for you and Claire to be the only two people who comment.
I'm not gonna comment. I'm on the podcast.
I can't wait for Claire to be the only person to comment.
You know what? That's fine. But yeah. So happy birthday to Mitchell. Any advice for him in his next year of life? Please comment. You know, don't be stupid. Actually, be stupid because we might laugh.
Yeah. And happy birthday early to Ally.
Yeah, happy birthday to me. I honestly, you know,
you're not gonna be a teenager no more, dog.
I know. How does it feel to date a teenager?
I hate it when you say that.
You've been dating a teenager for like 3.5 years, so.
You're only 13 months younger than me.
Yeah, I know.
You're like literally 12 months and 21 days younger than me.
Yeah.
So.
I also just realized that we're only like 2 weeks apart, like yesterday.
Yeah.
Like I was looking at the calendar because Mom had your birthday written on the calendar, and then I had my birthday right after it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, we're like 2 weeks apart.
Yeah.
Craziness.
Okay, we cannot finish a podcast, so let's finish it now.
Okay.
Thank you everybody for listening. We'll talk to you next time.
You.
Bye.
Bye.